Welcome. I'm Dr. Jackie Kelleher, and I'm the Executive Director of Vermont Family Network. On behalf of Vermont Family Network, whose mission is to empower and support all Vermont children, youth, and families, especially those with disabilities and special health needs, we're pleased to share more about our organization with you today. I've been in the field for over 25 years, fields of education and mental health, and I'm also the parent of 4 now adult children with disabilities, 2 of whom have become self-advocates. Today, I'd like to share our organization with my colleague, Jamie Rainville. Jamie?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Rainville. I am the co-director of our family support program at the Vermont Family Network. And I've been at VFN for 13 years, and I am a parent of an amazing young boy who has a congenital heart defect. So thanks for joining us today.
I've mentioned our mission, which is about empowering and supporting all Vermont families. We do this by ensuring that we are giving a strong start, that we're lifting family voices, and that we're advancing inclusive communities. And this mission drives the work that we do, fueled by our passion for equity, access, and inclusion. Next. We are a statewide nonprofit, regardless of your zip code. If you're a family in Vermont, you have access to our programs, services, and support, of which we have been providing for over 30 years. We're physically located in Williston, Vermont, but we have field staff outside of Chittenden County, so we're able to serve all geographical locations across Vermont. We are funded primarily by federal and state grants and contracts. And then we also are fortunate to have a donor base, and we receive support from donations from across Vermont and beyond. Next. So our history, as we said, 30 years in service. In the 80s, there were a few moms who had been starting their own nonprofits. Nancy Devenir founded Parent to Parent of Vermont, and she was envisioning connecting families so that no one would feel alone, and she was focused in the health area. Connie Curtin, she was focused on inclusionary practices and expertise in special education and being able to provide support around for school systems for families with kids in schools, and she founded the Vermont Parent Information Center. And then meanwhile, Mary Kay Dennison, along with Deb Lyons, saw an opportunity to utilize the art form of puppetry as a way to engage children in thoughtful conversations about personal safety, individual differences, and social inclusion. Around 2008 is when Parent to Parent and VPIC, having worked with many of the same families over the years, they recognized the value of streamlining these processes and merged together. When then in 2017, Puppets in Education joined this family, which is now Vermont Family Network, and it's who we are today. Next. So some of the landscape of Vermont. Here are some fast facts for us to consider in the Green Mountain State. We currently have over 15,000 children that have been identified for special education and who are eligible for IEPs. We have one of the highest percentage of students in the nation that have been identified with emotional disturbance through the special education process. And emotional disturbance, that is, children with anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, and other mental and behavioral needs. We have thousands of kids that are receiving treatments for longstanding medical conditions. We have a very significant achievement gap among students with and students without disabilities, as well as students with disabilities who are not performing well on statewide assessments in the single digits in terms of performance proficiency. Like many other states, Vermont too is struggling with the extraordinary challenges with our staffing shortage area for service providers and school-based personnel, related service providers. And, combining all of these pieces together, there's now more than ever a need for our organization to be at the table and to be part of the solution to working with children and families that are experiencing disabilities and special health needs. Next. So we're going to talk today about the things that we do. And there are many things that we do. And our website, which we'll talk about later, is a great wealth of more detailed information, but we're going to highlight some of those things. Family support, where we provide the support to those who call us through our helpline. Education, mental health, and health are our areas of focus. Our Puppets in Education program that we'll talk about. And then our advocacy training work that we do with community members, individuals, parents, and families who are looking to share their voices and to advance the agenda around advocacy in related topic areas. Next. So Puppets in Education. For Puppets in Education, programming is provided to through Vermont Family Network to our school system, teaching children how to keep themselves safe and healthy and to appreciate each other's differences. We do this through educational programs for children, utilizing our life-size puppets who model effective leadership and problem-solving skills and demonstrate respect, compassion, and inclusion in diverse communities. We typically serve between 7,000 and 10,000 children through multiple shows throughout the year, and faculty and staff also benefit from this experience. Our shows are followed up with different tools like discussion guides and activities that can extend the learning beyond the puppet performance. Next.
So we're going to take a deeper look into the work that we do under family support. And one thing that we like to share with everybody is that we are all parents of children with disabilities and special health care needs ourselves. When families, professionals call us, all of the conversations are confidential and all of our services are free. In our fiscal year 21, we reached almost 1,200 families and 185 professionals. And this was by phone, in person, emails, or through a virtual connection. And we had over 6,700 interactions with those families. We are a staff of 16, and it's a mix of full-time and part-time. And what we do is we really work with the family around their self-identified need. We listen, we brainstorm together, we figure out what's working, what's not working. We think of resources that maybe haven't been thought of previously. And I think most importantly, we offer that emotional support. We are the safe place to share, discover resources, and to problem solve. In family support, we are not social workers or case managers. There is no formal referral process. Anyone can call, and there's no eligibility requirements. Professionals can give families our contact information, or they can, with the family's permission, give us the family's contact information and we will call them. We do really encourage that professionals have a conversation with families first, and to make sure that the family is aware that we will be calling, that the family is interested in having us call. Sometimes we end up calling and the family really doesn't have time or the energy for another phone call, and it doesn't amount to much. So we do strongly encourage having a good conversation prior to making that referral. 3 areas that we focus on in family support: education, health, and well-being. So professionals and families can call and talk to us about their child's medical diagnosis or other health concerns that they may be having, challenges in school, home, or the community. For professionals, if you are working with a family that has received the news of a new diagnosis, please help the family get connected with us. We can provide a parent match, or maybe the family has expressed that paying for medical expenses is really hard, or they want to know about their child's diagnosis by attending a conference. We can help them get connected. We offer care notebooks. It's a great place to organize extensive medical paperwork. And we understand the challenges from having talked with many parents, navigating special education, processes, laws, rights, and responsibilities. And we can help support families with processing emotional things that they're experiencing emotionally, as well as family dynamics. So we are the federally designated Parent Training Information Center, the federally designated Family to Family Health and Information Center, and the Vermont chapter of both Family Voices and Parent to Parent USA. There are organizations like ours throughout the United States. This means that we can call upon our sister organizations to share information, solve problems, and to make sure that family voices are heard. So how do we help? We explain systems and processes in education and healthcare. We help families learn to be a better advocate, and we brainstorm next steps. So families, when they call, they self-identify what their need is. They identify their most pressing concerns. We figure out where they're connected, what financial supports are needed or other supports. And we can share recommendations and connections that we've learned from other parents. And we have resources locally, statewide, national. We can share websites and other resources. So we connect with other parents who share similar concerns, and we provide information, resources, and support. Our helpline is staffed Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30. And we do keep a confidential database. And so when parents or professionals call us, they are connected with an experienced family support staff. We're all parents ourselves, as I've mentioned. And they learn about supports and resources related to their child's health and education. On our education helpline, we help families understand their child's education plan, including special education and 504 plans. Parents call, as do educators and providers from around the state, with questions that are specific to special education. We help families with complaints, due process, mediation, out-of-district placement, and Act 264. And we can also help families around transportation, early intervention, bullying and harassment. We provide webinars and trainings, which we'll go into in a little bit, and we can support families around getting prepared for school meetings. And one thing that's important to know is that we don't ever advocate for a family or on behalf of a family. We give the family the information that they need to be able to advocate for their child. On the health side, we work closely with children with special health needs. They are a part of the Vermont Department of Health. Some examples of what we may help families with: health insurance, accessing Medicaid, disabled children's home care, also known as Katie Beckett, applications, insurance denials, medically necessary funding, where to get information about a diagnosis, if they need help finding and hiring a child's personal care attendant. We have a list of support groups on our website, and we can help with, as I mentioned, other insurance questions as they come up. This is some examples of some of the information that we support families with. On our website, we have over 60 family-friendly publications and fact sheets covering a variety of topics in special education, advocacy, health, and transition to adulthood. One of our guides is a travel guide, so families oftentimes get referred down to Boston Children's Hospital, and it can be extremely overwhelming for families to navigate down there, paying for that, what resources are available, what are some things that they need to know as they travel down there, and our travel guide covers all of that. We do have information packets around Katie Beckett, the care notebook, as I mentioned. We also have a fact sheet around hiring a personal care attendant and many other publications. We can assist with the Medicaid denial appeal fair hearings. And we can also help with questions around Social Security, There are community resources that are needed, as well as genetic resources. Our parent match program is one way that we support families. And this is a peer support model where we match a referred parent with a support parent, usually based on a specific diagnosis, but sometimes that is based on an experience, such as a traumatic surgery or maybe experience around feeding tubes. The parents can share resources, experiences, and encouragement. And these matches are often a result in long-term connections that help families feel less alone. Our support parents are all trained and are encouraged to attend a monthly support parent meetup where we talk about concerns that have come up around matches, best practices, and we also have access to a national database. So if we do get a request for a parent match around a particular diagnosis that we do not have a support parent trained for, we do have access to that national database that we can reach out to. And so oftentimes we are connecting families from Vermont around with parents from other states. So we can meet with families in our office, which is located in Williston. We can also meet virtually. We have attended school meetings with families, and we have the parent representative for coordinated service plan meetings. And so we can support families in those meetings as well. We do have a transition toolkit on our website. If you have a few minutes to check out this resource, it is great and it can be downloaded as a PDF. In the transition toolkit, some topics that are covered: adult services, employment, going to work in college, guardianship laws, SSI, supported decision making. It's a comprehensive resource for families, youth, and professionals, and provides a lot of great information. The toolkit is a result of a collaboration with Hireability Vermont. Our family faculty program provides an opportunity for parents who are at a place in their journey where they want to share their family story about family-centered care to medical or education students. And we organize this in a variety of ways. It might be through a parent panel at a class. It might be through a home visit with a third-year medical student. In fiscal year 21, we had 840 students and 92 parents who participated in this program. And it's a really nice way for families to impact the learning of students by sharing their story. And so I find that students walk away and they have the memory and the vision of the family. And as you all know, there is a family at the center of all medical conditions. And so this has been a great program for families to get involved with. We also have our Vermont Leadership Series. And so we train Vermonters with developmental disabilities and their family members to be advocates for positive social change. We collaborate with Green Mountain Self-Advocates and the Vermont Developmental Disabilities Council. We have trained to date over 100 Vermonters. We get together for 3 weekends, and graduates leave the series learning about how to advocate at a local or state level. They've learned the history of disability rights. They've learned how to effectively share their story for change. Our SIB Shop program is an amazing program that runs for the school year. And with the support of the Department of Health, Children with Special Health Needs, we invite the siblings of a child that has a disability or a special health care need to join us. Typically, they run on Saturdays for a couple of hours. And we provide fun games, an opportunity to talk with other SIBs. Sometimes we have special activities and guest speakers. The idea is that the SIBs come together and they are a support for one another. What is it like to be a sibling of a child that has a lot of medical issues going on, or that has, challenging behaviors at home, and they really are able to support one another? Some examples of things that we do in the community: we've done Metro Rock, we've done mini golf, bowling. We also are located in Essex at the Essex Teen Center. So when we're not doing something in the community, we are at the Essex Teen Center, which is just a great space for kids to come together. And then we do have some funding opportunities that we like to share with professionals and with families. So our Family Support Fund is a combination of respite as well as medically necessary supplemental funding. So any medical expense that a family incurs, if they are financially eligible, income eligible, this funding can cover up to $1,200 in a calendar year for expenses that insurance does not cover. Then we also have up to $1,200 in a calendar year, our respite funding, under the same source. We also have online our grant resource list, which has a lot of other opportunities for funding for families. We have $200 for our conference funding if a family is interested in traveling out of state to learn more about their child's diagnosis, and $100 if the family wants to attend a conference in state. Has to be about their child's diagnosis, though. We are lucky enough to be recipients of our Flutie Fund again this year, and this is a grant that we received from the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation, and it is for families that have a child with autism, and it's up to $200 that can be used very flexibly for equipment, therapy, camps, childcare, a conference. It can really be used for anything. And then we do have some limited support group funding. So if we have families who are interested in starting a support group, we can provide the startup funding for that. And new this year that we added is another respite source that we received through the Department of Children and Families. And this is $1,000 in a calendar year. And this can be used for respite. This is a little bit different from the first respite source that I mentioned, in that families, it is a voucher system. So families apply. If awarded, they receive a voucher, and then we reimburse for their respite. Jackie, over to you.
I'm real excited to tell you about Vermont Family Network and the learning opportunities that we provide the state. Our learning opportunities include webinars, workshops, our annual conference, town hall sessions, listening tours. We take topics that are coming in frequently from our helpline, or what we're learning from the various agencies, from school-based professionals. We take all those and we look for patterns and trends that often lead us to, prioritizing the content for our learning opportunities. Our curriculum is it's vetted. We are providing timely, accurate, and relevant information in a variety of different areas. This is really important for everyone to know that it's, our families can come and access these learning opportunities, as well as school-based and health-based professionals. We archive a majority of our events, so you can view on your time. And we're often polling the state for the topics that they would like us to cover in our future learning opportunities. One more piece on that too is as we've been working with families with children on individualized education programs, or IEPs, we remind them in our school districts that parent training and counseling is one of the most underutilized related services. It's a requirement if it's written into that IEP, and people will ask, well, where does this training come from? Where do I get this training? Certainly schools can provide the training on their own, do a fantastic job, or connect families to different conferences and workshops. But we're that training place too. You know, you don't look no further than VFN. We've got what families need to thrive and to be able to extend the learning at home with their children. Next slide. We also do our workshops and consultation services for organizations and for school districts and for other community agencies. We have our staff. We have staff with multiple years of experience that are able to customize different events for your organization. Some of the topics that we're working on right now with some of our school districts is special education in the law, basic rights under the IDEA, effective communication and collaboration among IEP teams, stress and anxiety, challenging behavior, just to name a few. We also do consultations in areas that agencies or organizations might want to improve on. For example, family engagement in rural communities. We hear from many families that services are frequently not coordinated or helpful. And so some of the ways that we help is by assisting with developing family-friendly communication. You know, everything from emails and the messaging that you do to handbooks. We arrange for parents from our family faculty program to share their stories as part of an in-service training for employees. Training family members on advisory councils or boards or committees, through leadership. We're also doing things as needed, like conducting focus groups or listening sessions with the families that are being served in your region or your communities to get input and improvement ideas for you. We can coach organizations in creating their own parent match or parent-to-parent support program. So there's a wide variety in what we can offer in this capacity as your statewide workshop and consultation services with respect to disabilities and special health needs. Next slide. And advocacy in action. This is Vermont Family Network's comprehensive advocacy program that works alongside families and partners to educate decision makers about needed change to support families with children who have disabilities or special health needs. And we believe that parents and caregivers, they're experts on their kids. They are the experts, and they know firsthand how the mental health, and education systems can best support our children living with disabilities or special health needs. Decisions about our families must be led and informed by our lived experience. And so we work with our policy advocacy group that advises us on things that we're advocating for as an organization. And we're working with them to be able to advocate collectively around our common interests with respect to the population that we serve. Next slide. These are the different ways that you can connect with us, and calling or email. And there is a person that does answer the phone. And certainly our emailing, we aim to be as timely and responsive as we can. With that being said too, there particularly over the past few years, our voluminous calls and emails coming in. So please be patient, but we aim to be as timely as we can. A great monthly e-newsletter with information about what's going on with Vermont Family Network, as well as featured resources that we're constantly refreshing. After we have vetted them and checked them out, we want to share wide all the best practice resources that are available. We are on social media through Facebook and Instagram, and we have very active Facebook pages. Some of them are open, some of them are closed with particular topic areas where people can just engage in dialogue around shared common interests and more opportunities to share resources and support with each other. Next. Professionals call about specific questions or about how to help a family. So I wanted to make sure that was clear to families as well as our professionals. VFN can suggest resources to pass on to a family with family permission, verbal, we always confidential, but there will be some times that people will actually ask us to be part of the conversation. And after ensuring agreement and confidentiality, that's part of the role that we play too. VFN family support staff can call the families directly, attend meetings in extenuating circumstances. So this is very important to us to know that, we're here to be a part of the solution, and the efforts that Jamie had described, and for me also suggesting this is very relevant and appropriate for professionals and service providers. We're here to help, and we know how important your role is in helping families if you're a service provider. And so there's a place for support right here for VFN. Yes.
So as we wrap up our time, we hope that you will reach out to us when you have questions about advocacy and leadership, disabilities or special healthcare needs, early childhood development, family engagement, general and special education, healthcare access, mental health, and transition to adulthood. Other resources for families and professionals, just information about support groups around the state, assistance finding trainings and workshops, funding. Even if you don't know the questions, we can think with you to sort through your concerns and situations to look at what direction or support or connection we can find. So we hope that you will reach out to us around any of the topics that we covered in today's recording, and we appreciate your time, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you so much, everyone.